Hey everyone, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, actually, I want to discuss something with you real quick here. Um, when people ask me how often should they get their oil changed, my mother actually had asked me this question because some of her friends had asked, when should they actually change their oil? Obviously, they're in their 70s and 80s. You know, obviously they're not going to be doing it themselves. Maybe one or two will, who knows? But for the most part, they're not going to do it themselves. One lady had said her newer Camry had called for, she thought, something like 12,000 miles between oil changes. And I said, in all honesty, how long is it going to take you to hit 12,000 miles? 2 years. Do you not want somebody looking at your car within those 2 years? A mechanic, the dealership, somebody? My point is, have somebody look your car over twice a year. In all honesty, I think that should be a minimum, twice a year. When I get a car into my shop, somebody entrusts me to look at their car. If I'm outside and let's say I'm changing a bulb, whatever, I will do a walk around on the car. I'm going to look at I catch it. I catch things. I look at the wiper blades. I look at tires. Do the tires look low? Maybe it needs air in the tires. I don't know. So the reason I do that is because I like to tell people what's going on with their car. I like for them to know what's going on with their car. If I get your car in and I got to put it up on a lift, I'm going to check tires. I'm going to check brakes. I'm going to check the undercarriage, oil leaks, stuff like that. Suspension, stuff that is a potential problem for you when you're driving. I hate when people say upsell. I don't look at it as an upsell because the stuff I'm trying to tell you that you need is not unnecessary stuff. Yes, there are shops out there. Yes, there are dealerships out there that will try to sell you unnecessary stuff. I understand that. I get that. And they'll try to sell you like fluff stuff so they can make extra money on it. And yeah, it's business. I understand it. I get it. I'm the type of person I don't do that. Do I think I'm better than anybody else? No, I don't. I'm not. That's not my point of this. So my point is, get your car looked at least twice a year. When I recommend something to you, I can back it up and point to it and say, hey, this is why you need tires. Hey, this is why you need to fix this oil leak because it's dripping on the catalytic converter and it could be a fire hazard, or something along those lines. The strut is leaking, the spring's cracked, whatever. There's reasons behind everything, and I will always be able to show you what I'm talking about. So what I'm getting at is this car that we bought at auction, had this come into me, I would have recommended tires. Let me show you the tires real quick. So if you look, that's a wear bar right there. The tire is down to its wear bars. Okay. Same thing on this side. Now, the rear tires are not that bad, but the front tires, the tires that get traction, or get the most traction, I should say, because they're the ones that are driving the car, steering the car, stopping the car mostly, that's all done with the front tires. I would have at least rotated these tires. Actually, let me show you a rear tire. Not bad, not bad. I would have definitely rotated these to the front. They still got some life left on them. They're not fantastic, but they're not bad. Anyway, what's my point behind this whole thing? My point is, a pair of tires for this car, $300 worth of tires, or even just a tire rotation would have helped. Although, even being on the back, I'd have to inform you, hey, you always have the possibility of the rear end kicking out. You really need to replace the tires. And I will note it on a repair order too. I will note it and I'll have you sign it. Have your car looked at, because this could have been avoided. That's a bad hit. From everything I can tell looking at this vehicle, it hydroplaned went off the road and sideways into a tree. That could have killed somebody. All for $300, if you think about it that way. Look, there's still parts of the bushes and trees stuck in there. Normally, in a car like this, when we buy it from auction, look at that, the car's actually bowed out on this side. The car is actually bent like a horseshoe, technically. When we buy cars like this from auction, if somebody was seriously injured in it or anything like that, there's usually a message on the vehicle which will say biohazard. On the label that comes on the windshield, it would say biohazard. Written in paint somewhere would say biohazard. There's none of that. The interior, luckily they got those side airbags, because look at that seat. Look at that driver's seat, how it's crushed. The side airbag saved the person's life, because otherwise their head would have been crushed into the B-pillar. There's no signs of blood in the car. There's no signs of wrappings from like the paramedics, for like bandages and stuff like that. There's none of that in here. It's just a mess from being in an accident, really. So now, if you're a tech, if you're a mechanic, if you're a quick lube person, whatever, it doesn't matter. When you have somebody's car and they hand you the keys, check it out. Be mindful of, hey, these tires are not good. These tires are dry rotted. These tires are bald. These tires don't have air in them. Hey, these wiper blades are torn. Hey, this strut is so worn out that it's ready to, it's bouncing all over the place. Bouncing from a strut, you can lose traction. Anything, everything. Look at it. Pay attention. Hey, you have fuel seeping here from this fuel line. Anything, whatever. It's your job as a mechanic, as a technician, as a service person that is working on a car. It's your job to look that car over and make sure it's safe for that person who's entrusting their car in your hands. I don't care how minimal it is, and meaning how minimal your job is. If you're just the new kid on the block you're just prepping the car for delivery and you're putting air in the tires, look at them, pay attention. That's all. So anyway, that's the end of the day today. I just wanted to point that out. Stuff like this could be avoided. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I really don't. I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal or anything like that. It's just how I am, and people that know me know that's how I am. So, all right, guys. Hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.